Inside the Drag Closet with Jade. Join Jade DeVere and her fabulous team of guests as they discuss all things drag, from wigs to makeup to performances and everything in between.
Join us at WLFE-DV.com for upcoming shows and more.
Well, hello there, kids. Welcome to Inside the Drag Closet, the interactive podcast where we talk about all things drag and some things that aren't. Who knows? We're really just here to have a good time. I'm your host, Jade DeVere, and I'd like to start tonight talking about algorithms. That's right, something we don't usually talk about. We are so grateful that everybody has been following this show, but we do need your help. If you are watching out there on Facebook, make sure you like and subscribe to the Inside the Drag Closet page. And if you're over on YouTube, make sure you are watching there. You can find that link at www.youtube.com/Jade DeVere. Also, just in time for the holidays, we have some merch ready to go. That's right. In honor of the holidays, we recommend that you get your family something they will enjoy, which is either a Inside the Drag Closet hoodie or the t-shirt. That's right. I'm becoming a regular businesswoman over here. But you can find all of that at www.jadedevere.com/merch. But I do have to answer a little bit of a who, what, where. Who am I? My name is Jade DeVere. I'm the host of Inside the Drag Closet. I have been doing drag for over 10 years now, and I absolutely love it. What am I wearing? Well, you know, since it's going to be a bit of a family night tonight, I wanted to dress like a panda. We'll explain that later. It's a family thing. I also have my panda earrings from Rocks by God. That's right. She actually made this set a while ago, and my mother-in-law bought me these for Christmas. Absolutely love this jewelry set. And where can you find me? Well, right now you can find me every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. right here on WLFE-DB Radio's Inside the Drag Closet. Hopefully next year in 2021, we can all get back to performing live and making live performances. Sadly, we're not there right now, but keep your fingers crossed, keep wearing your masks, and we will be making live appearances again. We already have a whole bunch of people watching this evening. Vicky and Robin, adore you both. Thank you both for watching. A lot of people commenting, Rocks by Cox. I actually talked to Lolly this week. She is going to be putting a commercial together, considering we talk about her jewelry all the time. If you do not have a jewelry set from Lolly Cox, make sure you order one. They are amazing. You can't really tell this jewelry set is in fact green, but the miracle of Hollywood changes the color of my jewelry set. Or something like that. I don't know. We have Miss Alicia Stair watching. Evening, everyone. Good to see you. Miss Portia Willis is watching. Hello, Portia. Miss Portia is going to be one of our guests next weekend right here on Inside the Drag Closet. I'm so excited to chat with her. Julie, oh my gosh, Julie, I miss you. I love what you're posting on Facebook. It's fantastic. Brenda Thomas, Aunt Brenda, good to see you. Love my hair. Oh, thank you so much. This is my natural color. You can tell by the dark roots. What else do we have? Oh, Dawn Davis, such a cute little panda. I know. Just wait, there are other cute little pandas that we're going to have on the show a little bit later. Aw, Teddy. Hello, Jade DeVere. Hello, Teddy. So good to see you. I'm so excited to share what you shared with me later this evening. Alicia, I love the panda top, onesie, LOL. I don't know either. Truth be told, it's a cute little Halloween costume. It had mittens, but they're still in the bag because I have to run this show in addition to hosting the show, and it's a lot. So tonight we do have a fantastic show. We are tackling two topics at once. We're going to be talking about being a show director for drag shows, as well as drag husbands. Our two fabulous guests, Derek and Jeremy, are not only drag husbands, but they are the real life husbands of me and SKARLET Overkill. So they're not just drag husbands, they're real husbands. They're stuck with us all the time. But speaking of the fabulous Miss Scarlet, I think it's time I bring her out. So everyone put your hands together for Scarlet Overkill.
Hey, everyone. Hello, Jade.
How are you, girl? Give us a little who, what, where.
I'm good. All right, so who, what, where, who am I? I am everyone's favorite clown, Scarlet Overkill. What am I wearing? This fabulous pink outfit from I don't really know where, with pink hair, pink nails that my husband did for me. So I'm wearing a lot of pink, basically. And where can you find me? Well, you can find me every Wednesday night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on Inside the Drag Closet. And you can find me on my new show on WLFDB Radio every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Across the Pond. Yes.
So wait a minute. You mean this show right here?
Two Americans, two Brits, four friends with four different opinions. Join the guys of Across the Pond as they discuss everything under the sun and answer all of your burning questions. Check out their live feeds every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern on Facebook.com/Across the Pond.
Yes.
Surprise.
I
Teddy
believe
literally-
Ted said that to me while I was putting all this on my face. So yes, thank you, Ted, for that. It is amazing. I cannot wait to show it to the rest of the guys, and we'll be using it this Sunday at 4 p.m. on Across the Pond. Find us on Facebook, like, follow, and you can watch that show as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You cracked me up this week because you were just like, girl, now I understand what you go through.
It's a lot. I'm the only one who, like, when I said to the rest of them, hey, so we're doing this podcast and we'll use StreamYard, they're like, we're going to what? So I was like, okay, well, I guess since I already have an account and I'm familiar with it due to this show, I'm like, I guess I got to take the reins. So, but it's a lot of work.
It really is. You know, there's a lot of times where I'm kind of quiet on the show. It's because I have a million buttons over on that side of the screen. And I'm like, oh my God, what's next? Oh my God, I have to get her information down there and I have to play the thing. And
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have another WLFE-DB family member, Dominic, jumping on to say hi. I'm Dom from Real Talk with Dom, WLFE-DB family. Hi, Dom.
Hello, Dom. Thank you to you for liking and following our Across the Pond Facebook and sharing our new episode this week. Thank you for that.
I feel bad. I've gotten to see bits and pieces of your show, but I haven't gotten a chance to sit down and actually watch it because work is fun.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk a little bit about who we have on the show tonight?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, we have two fabulous people. We'll just say that. I'm not going to take too much away. No, but the two guests we have tonight are amazing. We both know them personally, obviously, because we decided to marry them. So there's that. But also because we, from day one of doing drag, they've been there through it all. The good, the bad, the ugly, the cute, all this, And they also run and promote shows as well, so they know what it's like to basically do drag without doing drag. So, yeah.
It's a lot. And I have to give them both credit. Being a show director is not an easy task.
Mm-mm.
And,
No.
it can be really stressful.
Yeah.
So let's introduce, actually, I'm going to let you do the first introduction because you know him better than I do.
Okay, so our first guest this evening is my wonderful and fabulous husband. He's been with me since day one of Scarlet being Scarlet, and he is the current promoter for Miss Gay Pennsylvania, America. And he is my, like I said, fabulous husband. So let's please welcome to the show, Jeremy.
Hi.
Hey, Jeremy.
Across the room.
Right? Wait, that room looks really familiar. Where are you?
I'm in the family room of the house.
Oh my God. I thought so.
Jeremy, give us a little who, what, where about you.
So I am Jeremy Clayton Schlieve. You can find what I'm wearing is this fabulous sweater from Target. I don't know the manufacturer or the tag label. Where you can find me, I'm on, of course, Instagram, Who Asked Jew _79, Snapchat, JYERE Run 79, and TikTok at Who Asked Jew _79. And of course on Facebook as Jeremy Clayton. And you can also find me every Monday through Friday at work, and every Sunday as the backstage producer for Scarlet Show Across the Pond.
Yes.
Amazing.
Well,
Now, I'm curious, you are a pageant promoter. What is the hardest part about being a pageant promoter?
so yeah, I am one of the co-promoters for Miss Gay Pennsylvania America. I think the hardest part is really keeping contestants excited about the system, people that would be interested in competing, with the Miss Gay America system. There are a lot of challenges with, of course, some of the restrictions and stuff of that nature, not to beat a dead horse there. But also it's putting together the state pageant can be very taxing, right? So for both Adam and I, Adam Fieser, the co-promoter, the other co-promoter anyway, it can be challenging because we're doing a lot of the backstage work along with some of the other promoters that are helping us out, Sean Sabat and everybody from Miss Gay NEPA America. So that's the hardest part, I would say, the two hardest parts anyway.
And you didn't get to do a pageant this year.
Yeah, well, with COVID, of course, everybody was impacted. The whole system, every system that's out there really was impacted. I know there were a few that did conducted a lot of virtual pageants, and I saw the one that you hosted recently, which was great. That, of course, brought a lot of ideas to mind, so I may steal some things, but we still don't know what the beginning of the year will hold, and that was traditionally when we really start kicking off the pageant season. So yeah, we're hoping that everything gets back to normal and we're able to start having in-person pageants soon.
Yeah,
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Scarlett, do you have any questions for Jeremy?
Spit them out, lady.
Yeah. Let him out. Yeah, I'm wondering why you got groceries delivered and didn't get me Sprite.
That wasn't on the list.
I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Well, not. I want Sprite, but
Yeah.
no. So I guess I kind of know a little bit about the PA system and stuff since you are part of it and you've been part of it now for what, 4 years? Right? Is it 4 years now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So like what how can I word this? Like, what's what makes it rewarding to you? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, why do you do it? Like, obviously, there's a reason you do it. Like, so do you get some reward out of it, an accomplishment? Like, what is your reason for promoting Miss Gay PA?
That's a good question. The biggest reason, and I was thinking about this earlier today because I figured it would be a question that I would receive from somebody, either Jade or you. But the biggest reward is really seeing the contestants grow, right? So from day one, they're competing at the city level, and then the top two will go on to the state pageant. So seeing the growth from that initial contest up until the state contest, it's night and day for some contestants, right? So seeing that growth, seeing those contestants take the critiques, really apply them to their package for the state level, and then ultimately either winning or becoming first alternate and going on to the national pageant. That's the hope for every contestant. But those that really apply the critiques will see the payoff, right? They'll compete their first year, make it in the middle of the pack, and then the next year they're at the top of it. So or you can be a divinity cruise, and first time out the gate you're winning stuff. So which is tremendous. That's not always the case. Take Jasleen Dixon, who was last year's or 2019's Miss Gay Pennsylvania America. She had competed over multiple years. She was on almost getting closer to double digits for competing. So when you think of that, how there's that one-off winner who went to a city, went to the state and won, and then both our contestants for the national pageant did really well. So it's the reward is just seeing that growth, seeing that progression.
Yeah.
It is very fascinating to see the glow up from some of these girls. Callie Couture, amazing performer. Went on to place 7th alternate. Is that correct? Or 7th place? I
think it was 7th place.
Okay.
I don't remember. It's been a couple years.
Yeah. But still, for her first time competing in the America system that's no small feat right there. She did an amazing job.
Oh, yeah. To break top 10. Yeah, absolutely.
She's remarkable. We do have some fun comment. Oh, from Ephraim. Ephraim is watching tonight. Not easy at all. I see what they go through. Tough gig.
For sure.
And thanks to him, he does most of the recordings at all of the city level pageants in the state. So, he sees everything, all the backstage stuff and what we go through. So yeah, he knows all too well what we go through.
Very true. I have a fun question.
Shoot.
What is the hardest part about living with Skarlet Overkill?
He's going to say everything.
Am I testifying in court or anything? Do I?
You are not under oath right now.
So everything. No, there are challenging times, especially during this time of year. And Jade, you know what I'm talking about. This is the tough time of year for our household because everything's in chaos most of the time. But other than that, every other day is no challenge whatsoever. It's just this time of year. Honestly, Skarlet.
Yeah.
What none of you saw before we started was Jeremy yelling Scarlett's real name. Just hey, turn the notifications off. It was Alicia Stair just had a fun comment. You should do an episode where you drag queen the husbands up.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to take this one step further. And Jeremy, I want to know if you're on board with this because we're going to do it anyway, whether or not you say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see Skarlet turn you into Jade DeVere, and I have to turn my husband into Skarlet Overkill.
What?
Right?
That would be crazy. All right.
That would be so much fun.
Spoon.
Teaspoon or table, right?
Jeremy,
exactly.
Jeremy, get me a spoon.
Ladle.
I would say, yeah, I would do that, of course. Now, since I'm not going to be Skarlet, yeah, I would do that.
He's only agreeing because he doesn't have to wear this much makeup.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I was scouring Facebook trying to find a picture of Jeremy in drag. And I found one, but I'm not going to share it because you were impersonating a friend of ours. And it was done with love, but it was still... It's not a true representation of what your drag would have been.
Spot on, though. It was very spot on.
It was amazing. Literally, I mentioned us painting our husbands, and the comments are Ephraim, ooh, yes. Alicia, oh my God, yes. My friend Kenny, approved. Vicky, yes. Robin, yes. Chanel, OMG, that's an amazing idea. Do it. Okay, we got to get this on the schedule. Don't worry, kids.
Yes,
we're going to do this. If anybody has any other ideas for stuff if you want to see us do some stupid shit here on this show, send an email to InsideTheDragCloset@gmail.com and let us know what you want us to do. Not guaranteeing a damn thing, but we'd love to hear your idea.
And when it comes to the husbands, I'm sure everybody's all game for that, right?
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny, I was having trouble figuring out how to introduce this show because, a lot of drag performers have their drag husband, which is basically their friend who carries their stuff wherever they go. But you are legitimately Scarlet's husband.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, you do the drag husband job wonderfully.
Well, thank you. I sometimes don't like it, but that's speaking very candidly. But I love it, right? Because I not only do I help Scarlet, I'm helping anybody that's asking for help backstage, right? So a lot of the time, I'm not only helping her, I'm also helping 9 other people if they need it, 2 other people if they need it, 1 other person if they need it. So, again, that's part of the support and seeing the growth and helping people is being supportive of not just my spouse, but also anybody else that would come along and need it. So.
And plus, too, like with drag husbands are just as much part of the drag community as the queens are. They're at almost every show, like not like Jeremy said, helping not only their husband dress, but like everyone else backstage if they need help. So they get to interact with all the queens backstage as well and get to know them. And, as we're a tight-knit community and family, the husbands become part of that as well.
Yeah, true.
Very true. Well, Jeremy, I want to thank you for being here this evening. We are going to bring you back a little bit later so we can answer some questions from the audience. Is that cool with you?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All righty. We'll see you shortly.
See you soon.
I have to tell you, your husband is one of the quintessential drag husbands because what he said is no joke. Like, he helps everybody backstage.
Yeah.
Even when there are times he should not.
Yep. Exactly.
Like, someone threw shade at you and he was just like, girl.
Yeah.
And that's why all you baby kings and queens and non-binary performers out there, don't throw shade in a dressing room because you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
If you're going to throw shade, do it quietly with someone you like. Right, Scarlet?
Yeah.
That's what we do when the camera's not rolling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the stuff we don't see before the show.
Exactly. When we talk shit about each other.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we do have another fabulous gentleman joining us here this evening. Now, he has been watching Inside the Drag Closet every night, mostly because I insist that he does, or I will kill him. But let us bring to the show my better half, Derek Gamble Ernst.
Hi, Derek.
Hey, how's it going, ladies?
Good. Well, give us a little who, what, where.
Oh, okay. My name is Derek Gamble Ernst. I am married to the illusion of Jade DeVere and the man underneath. You can find me on my YouTube channel, which is PA Street Scene. You can also find me on Instagram at that same. And also, I'm now on TikTok because they've finally convinced me to do it. So that's at PA Street Scene and then the number 1 after it because I had an account, deleted it, and now I can't get back into it. So, and then what I'm wearing tonight is a fabulous button-down shirt from the local Walmart in Dickies brand. And then a lovely green t-shirt underneath, adorned by my wedding ring, because I don't like wearing it on my finger.
Same.
I lose it. I set it down all the time. So
we're klutzes, so we both wear it. Well, I don't wear it when I'm in drag, but it's always nearby.
Yep.
Ta-da.
It's closer to my heart this way.
That's a good excuse, yeah. That's why you leave it on the corkboard downstairs.
Well, you know. I know where it's at. That's half the battle.
True. Hey, Scarlet, do you have any questions for Derek?
Yeah.
This is such a weird episode.
It's like, what can I ask? Like, when Jeremy was on, you're like, oh, do you have any questions for Jeremy? What can I ask the person I've been with for 7 years that I don't already know about them? But unfortunately, I haven't. Well, I've known Derek forever, but there are things I don't know about you.
Oh my!
No, I'm kidding. So I want to ask about kind of like what I asked Jeremy. Like, but I'm gonna do the opposite. So, what is your least favorite part about being a show director?
Oh, I would say my least favorite part about it is honestly when things that I'm in charge of, Jade gets asked about, and when things that she's in charge of are things that I get asked about. For example, the two shows that I'm responsible for are Divas Down Under in New Cumberland and Risque Cabaret in Harrisburg. Those are my shows. Jade is a huge part of both of those shows, cast and support system, but they're not her shows. And I don't say that with malice. I'm just saying, like, that's not her role in those shows. But people will constantly go to her and ask her for bookings, and she's like, not my show. Like, it's not my show. So I think that's probably it. I think there's also a little bit of me that doesn't like preconceived notions that people have about the way that show directors cast their shows and the choices they make. So that can get a little dicey, but for the most part, I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to get back to doing it, hopefully in 2021.
It is funny that you mentioned that, because we both get the comment all the time that you only book me because we're married. And I told Fancy that once, and Fancy was just like, that might not be the case. And so what if he does? Like, you're the show director. It's your show. You can do what you want.
I mean, you're not to brown nose, but Jade is a performer that I admired before we were a couple, before we dated. So the fact that I get to include her in my projects is an added bonus. But I mean, I don't know how people would expect for someone who's married to a performer to not want them to be a part of it. Like, that seems silly to me.
Yeah,
exactly. Oh, we just got a good comment from Amber. I love your energy at Divas Down Under. I miss it so damn much.
Same. I miss it terribly.
Portia says the same. I miss Divas. That is such a fun show.
Yeah,
it's exhausting.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't deal with him during that show. I'm like, honey, if you could be over there while Mama's trying to get ready, that'd be great. I know you're having a meltdown, and I find that cute, but shut the hell up.
Oh yeah, every show I turn into Bridezilla. It's like it's our wedding every month. But I think it's because I care so much, like, and I want them to be good.
What is the hardest part about booking that show? I know you don't like that question.
It's not that I don't like that question. I would say the hardest part about booking that show is Central Pennsylvania has such a diverse group of people to pick from and such a big pool of people. And in the years that we've been together, I've had the chance to build a good reputation with a lot of the performers in this area and a lot of the venues. So there's so many people to pick from that it gets to be tough to only pick a couple at a time. So you really end up getting into a space where you have to pick a performer or guest performers who fit a certain theme or a kind of show that you're putting together. And I know that rubs a lot of people the wrong way sometimes. And that's unfortunately kind of just the way it is. It's the name of the business.
Yep.
I know. He always books me during Halloween because he has to have it in the show.
Exactly.
Bro, you're there like every other month. Shut up.
You have become one of our regular guests for that show. Like,
so fun. I love that show.
Phyllis just asked a very fun question. How sweet. I sure hope you have enough closet space. Does he help you lug and tote your stuff?
I call myself the drag mule.
Yep. Because he will only take one trip up and down the stairs.
That's because it's ridiculous. It's a lot of stuff. But we've gotten smarter, because I remember when I first started dating you, all of your drag was in multiple backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've gotten much smarter and much more efficient with drag transport.
Exactly. So we are definitely going to be bringing you back again in just a little bit. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and then Scarlett is going to have the floor to herself for a few minutes. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to hear what you're going to talk about. But kids, get your questions ready. We will be answering questions in just a few minutes. See you soon.
Yeah.
WLFE DB Radio.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to Inside the Drag Closet. I hope you enjoyed that commercial, and I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Now it's time for Scarlet Segment. That's what we're going to call it, Scarlet Segment. Amethyst thought she was cute with Diamond Dish. Well, this is Scarlet Segment. So on my segment, I talk about makeup. You know, tips, tricks, secrets, a little bit of it all. So tonight we're going to talk about color and using colorful eyeshadow. So as everyone knows, I'm a very bright and colorful queen. I like to wear at least 4 different colors on my face when I'm doing my drag. So I have all kinds of makeup palettes from different brands and stuff that I use. As long as it's vegan and cruelty-free, I'll use it. But I like to use color because it kind of, for me, I use it in 2 ways. Like 1, to match outfits, and then 2, to make me stand out. So a lot of times I'll use certain colors I'm using. Like tonight I have like pink lips, and my eyeshadow up top is like red. So it kind of goes with my pink outfit, and my wig is pink. You can't tell though. But yeah, I'll also match like the colors of my face with like the contacts I'm wearing. So I am wearing pink contacts. Again, you know, can't see all these lashes on. But yeah, I like wearing, like I said, a lot of color because it's part of my aesthetic. I always try to be the most bright and colorful thing in the room. So by wearing different colors on my face and matching it with my outfits is something, you know, what's to say, like I love to do and I try to do all the time. So I'll try and, you know, when I do colors too, I'll try and match them in the same kind of color scheme. Like I have red and pink on now with like purple. So I'll try and like the 3 colors, while they're different, I try to also like keep them in the same like how can I say it, like the same realm of colors. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. It was something different. I was like, how can I like incorporate that and stuff and do my segment or whatever? But
I love that though. Like, and I think that's one thing, you know, there are a lot of different types of drag, but like your drag is so bright and colorful and just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like,
another thing too is like, I was gonna say is like, I always tell people too, because a lot of people, that's one thing that draws them to my drag is because I'm so bright and colorful. Like I'll walk into a room with like neon green lipstick on. Some like I like literally both, and that's the thing. Like not only just my eyeshadows, my lipsticks as well. I have everything from like sure, you probably never seen me wear it. I got it as like a gift, but a nude lipstick. But like I have pinks and neon greens and bright yellow. But like I just love wearing color, and I think like everyone should at least like wear some kind of color because it really just makes you stand out. It's not the basic like. Not that I'm saying it's basic, but like, you know, like a smoky eye or something like that. Like make it pop with color.
Yep. There's a time and a place for a smoky eye. And sometimes you just gotta smoke purple. I don't know where that sentence was going.
Smoke purple, okay.
Smoke purple. I don't know. It sounded like a drug reference for a second, and I don't even smoke, so I don't know what's going on. Although we did get a cool question. How do you get ready? Do you pick out the outfit first or the makeup first? Thank you, Alicia, for that question.
Yeah. So for me, I like I said, I'll think of like what colors. So usually like usually it's like the eyeshadow above and underneath and lipstick is the three different colors, and then there'll be another color that I add into my face as well. So usually for me, I'll pick out the colors I want to wear first and then outfit after, because honestly, I have, oh my gosh, any color you can think of, I have an outfit for it in my wardrobe. I even have outfits that have like rainbows on and like comic book character, like all. So my outfits are just as colorful as my face. So it's usually not hard whether I choose outfit first or makeup first. It's not hard to make them match because everything I own is just colorful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, we got a couple more questions, but do you want to bring the boys back for them?
Yes, let's bring them back.
Alrighty, let's bring back our fabulous husbands, Derek and Jeremy.
Hey!
I gotta switch this around. There we go.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Why do I have to be the bottom?
Well,
Okay.
I was doing a flip, but I'm wearing my pussycat wig tonight, so
there you go. So we have Vicky just asked us a fabulous question, but I'm gonna do a twist on this question. The question was, if there's one thing in our drag bag that you could remove that we really don't need, I want our husbands to answer. What is one thing in our drag bags we do not need?
Ooh.
Go first, Derek.
I don't know. You've gotten really good about consolidating lately. I'll be shady a bit, and I'll put it out there to all queens. The one item that you don't need in your bag, unless you're at a pageant, leave your crown at home.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound awful about this, but if you're coming to a show at a comedy club or a bar that's not a drag bar specifically, if you're contractually obligated to have it with you, I get that. But if you're just whipping it out because you think I'm going to put you in for a crown number, you're kidding yourself. It's not going to happen. They don't understand what you're doing, and they don't really care.
True.
Ooh, I knew we were gonna get shady.
We are.
I love drag pageantry as much as the next person, but for example, Divas is not an LGBTQIA plus establishment. They're inclusive, but it's not like a Stallions or a Rumors or one of these establishments or Heat. So most of the audience there is just there to see a show. Right. They don't really understand why you're wearing a crown and what that means. And so I don't know. It just seems a little thirsty in some cases. So I try to avoid it. especially when you get to the point that you have an entire cast where maybe only 1 or 2 people don't have crowns. I don't know. That kind of makes me feel bad for the people that don't have them when everyone else is wearing them. Like, it's just,
yeah, that's true.
Be proud of your crowns, but you don't need to take them everywhere with you.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
We're skipping the next part. No, skip Jeremy. Next question. He's gonna know how shady he's gonna get.
So Gigi wants to chime in as well, but the thing that I would say about Scarlet's packing is you don't need 5 walkarounds and 2 additional pairs of heels for those 5 walkarounds when you wear the first walkaround every time you walk around and the first wig every time you walk around. So you don't need all that stuff.
I feel very
gonna wear it. I know you do it just in case, but just in case never happened, sweetie.
I
tell him this all the time, so he knows.
Well, you have to get to the gig on time in order to be able to walk around. So,
let's talk about that for a hot second.
Wait.
No, but seriously, how often do you experience girls showing up late? Or performers showing up late in general? I don't want to diminish our kings and our non-binary performers as well.
No, they're all late.
They're all late? Okay, they're all late.
Basically.
It's drag time. We're always on drag time.
And see, I hate drag time.
I hate drag time too. I hate it.
The downside about drag time is that the audience thinks drag time is a thing, so we'll get ready on time, and then the audience won't be there yet.
Yep.
I always say, what time? I always ask Scarlet, what time do we have to be out the door? And then I'm in the car at that time usually, if I'm not running late myself, which is rare, but I'm usually in the car waiting, and Scarlet's like, where are you? I was looking for you. I had to set the alarm. I had to do all these things. And I'm like, well, you said we had to leave at this time, so I'm leaving at that time.
We got another really good question from Phyllis. Scarlet, your nails are great. Does your husband really do them for you?
This set, yes. So I used to get, when I first started drag, I was like, I don't have to wear nails. Or I was like some others, and I got the little French tips from the Dollar General. But for me, I have such like long bony fingers, and I don't know what it is, but like just the daggers make the look for me. So I started buying them from Nails for Queen. Shout out to her. This fabulous 16-year-old girl who lives in Pittsburgh, makes nails for all the RuPaul girls, everything. Her work's amazing. So I started buying from her, and then as time went on, it's just like, trying to come up with, she's so busy now, with being popular, because of like her nails being on Drag Race. It was like, I need these nails like this week. And she's like, oh, it's a 3-week wait. So I was like, well, it can't be that challenging to make nails, just buy the sets online, color them yourself and stuff. So we bought the whole kit. We got nail polish. These ones have like glitter on them and stuff, and like marble work. So like we got like little like what is it, like paint brushes and stuff. And yeah, we even have one of the little lights you stick your hands in at the nail salon, the UV lights. But yeah, we just kind of started playing with different colors and designs, and I still do get nails from hers, but it works better in a pinch. Like if we need something, we have the stuff at home.
Aw, Jeremy, you're her silver medal.
Yeah.
Bronze. It's tarnished.
It's bronze.
I'm a participation ribbon, so it's fine.
Second participation.
Boom.
It says last to say not it.
Not
last
wrong.
to be chosen. That's more like it.
Oh, speaking of which, we got another question. We're going right for this one. From Brenda. Jade, does Derek ever do your makeup? Asking because his mom is the one who did my first school pictures back when I was in high school, and she was great at it. And I figure he is so good at art, he would be good at makeup.
Uh-oh.
I was going to share the pictures of
I ain't
Derek
scared. I ain't scared. I own
putting
it.
himself. I didn't download them, although we have talked about, maybe doing each other's makeup just for the heck of it and putting it on YouTube for shits and giggles, because why not? However,
I think the answer to the question is I've never really tried. I've done makeup on myself once or twice in a pinch, and it's that I didn't do that makeup myself, but I'll tell you about that picture.
Oh my!
Look at her.
She was so fishy. That was Miss Barb Wire. That was 11 years ago.
Oh my!
I was DJing an event for the Hack Allies called the Gay Gala. And I was like, oh, they're doing drag. I know what drag is. No clue. No clue. And I'll never forget, I walked in with my like TJ Maxx dress and my fishnets into the dressing room with the queens. And the first queen I saw was Miss Aurora F. Sterling. And I've never seen daggers come out of someone's eyes so quick. And she was right. She was right. It was bad. It was bad.
Who is this?
Derek walked in there like, I'm a woman. And then Aurora turned around. Who let this man in here?
And you did go on a bit of a drag journey, did you not?
Yes.
In
You did.
what way?
In this way.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
That's Miss Husky Varna.
Yes, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
Who did I make up that night?
Yes.
That looks
Didn't
like
you-
a traditional Jade DeVere eye, so I'm thinking you did.
And
I helped you out with it, but I was also performing that night, and I was like, I don't have time to help you, girl.
Well, it was State Street, so it's fine.
That's true. The State
Right.
Street pageant, we went for busted, and we
Mhm.
excelled in these goals.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
Yeah, drag is something that is a fun costume that I get you to put me into once, twice a year, but it's never something that I've wanted to pursue. And I know the joke that I've made on many times, and so have others, is drag is or Halloween is when the costume queens come out, and then they're demanding bookings, 2 weeks later. But it's literally nothing. It's not a thing that I've ever wanted to pursue myself.
It's a lot of work.
it is.
And I don't like how it feels. I don't like how it feels. I don't like how it makes me feel.
You get very timid when you're in drag.
Yeah, it's like a complete opposite switch from who I am as a regular person. I find that I'm typically pretty extroverted and outgoing. The second I'm in drag, all that goes away. And it's
Oh, wow.
the weirdest thing.
Well, that's funny you said that because I'm the exact opposite. Like when I'm out of drag, I'm very much like, don't talk to me, don't even approach me. Like I literally like out of drag, I literally kind of come off very bitchy, but I'm not. But it's just my personality is like I'm very well, okay, but
Tell
like
the truth.
my personality out of drag is very shy, even though I don't want to be. And I think that's, again, I've said this before. That's one of the reasons I started doing drag was because that kind of pulled me out of. It made me more of an extrovert. Drag does. Because when I'm in drag, I'm like, oh yeah, all eyes on me, pay attention. You know what I mean? Like I'm very much more extroverted in drag. So I'm the exact opposite of you.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
We do have another fun question here from Portia. What is one item that you would suggest every doll have in her makeup kit? Let's ask Jeremy first.
Ah. Yes.
Oh, in your makeup kit. Oh my gosh. One thing. There's so many things, but one thing I would say would be a high quality eyeshadow for sure, regardless of which brand you choose, but it has to be high quality. If you're a smoky eye type person, or you're a colorful eye like the two of you, having the high pigmented quality products is the most important thing. Don't get me wrong, you can go to a CVS or a Rite Aid and find high quality makeup, but when you're going to like Dollar General, not all the time are you going to find that quality that you really need.
Tell that to Ashley Lynn.
Oh,
Whole kit and caboodle's full of Dollar General makeup.
She won't watch this show. It's fine.
she was watching the other week, girl.
Hey, the Dollar General makeup is getting a lot better. Like Wet n Wild is really starting to do it right now, and you can
They
get
are.
that stuff for next to nothing. So if you know what you're looking for, you can really save a lot of coin going Dollar General. So I'm not gonna make fun of that.
Wet and Wild is doing cream sticks now.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn.
and they're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Derek, what's one item you would suggest every queen should have?
Well, I've always told queens for years, and kings and other performers as well. It's just sad it's discontinued, but I've always been a big proponent of the electric palette from Urban Decay.
Oh,
So if you can find one, either new or just one that somebody's had for a long time that they haven't used or they've barely used, get an electric palette. It is one of the best drag palettes out there as far as its bright, vivid neon colors. Now, granted, if you're not into bright, bold colors, it's not really going to help. But I would say, especially for starting performers, it's a great palette to give you a lot of look possibilities.
Yeah.
How about you, Scarlett?
I've said it a million times, and I'll say it a million more. Have a good primer. It's the base to your whole entire face. It's like building a house or building a car, whatever. Like, you have to have a good base or the whole thing will just fall apart. So I have two actually that I use. One that's more, I guess, like everyone is saying, drugstore, but like I use the e.l.f., the Eyes, Lips, Face, the Poreless Putty. Amazing. And that's more so if I'm doing like something online like this. Now, if I'm performing, I will use the Milk Hydro Grip Primer because that is, oh my gosh, like you put it on and it's a really weird feeling. You put it on your face at first and your fingers are sticking to your face as you're putting it on, but it dries completely smooth. But then when you put your makeup on, that sticky feeling comes back and it sticks your makeup on your face. It's amazing. It's a little more pricey, obviously, because it is vegan and cruelty free, and it's Milk's all their products like organic and stuff like that. So it's a little more pricey, but it's totally, if you can afford it, totally worth it. It's an amazing primer.
You're welcome.
That sounds amazing. I'm gonna throw something out there that is gonna be an unexpected answer. Makeup removers. Because if you screw something up, wipe it off, do it again.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, it's on there, I have nothing to take it off with.
Yeah.
That's your mug. Have fun. Now, we are going to derail from questions for just a moment because we did get a whole bunch of comments. I know when these all happened. Aw, puppers. Hey, puppy.
Gigi.
Sweet puppy. Gigi, come back here.
Gigi.
Come on.
We're going to get Gigi to get
She's
some
like,
attention.
she's
I'm
like,
going to do it now that you want me to, Dad.
That's all right. I have pictures.
yeah.
Yay.
So Gigi's our baby. We have 3 fabulous fur babies, all rescues. Our oldest is Alistair. He'll be 6 next month. Chloe, there's Chloe. She'll be 6 in August of 2021. And Gigi just turned 1 over the summer. So she's the baby.
Aw.
And you can tell she's running around the house at all hours of the night. Yes. I know that they're all listed as mixed breeds because they're rescues, so they don't know who the parents are. I swear Gigi's mom or dad is a cat. She sleeps on the back of the couches. She walks across the back of the couch. She'll jump from the top of the couch, like lunge across the floor. Like she has to be half cat, I swear.
Yeah. That's amazing. Now, I'm sure you two get this question a lot, and this is actually one of the most invasive questions that Derek and I get. Are you planning on having kids other than fur babies?
My screen froze. Sorry. What did you say?
Oh, I thought you were just like this bitch. Are there any plans for babies other than fur babies?
No. Oh, me. I mean, it's pretty much a no, just because of like, we don't really have time, and that I don't mean to sound this in a rude way, but I'm not really a big fan of kids in general. So I don't really want them, but also it's just like, we both work and I have my drag, and it's just, sure, this year's been a little more calm because a lot of things were canceled, but a normal week is like Jeremy working, me working, and like 3 gigs. So like we're constantly busy. We're constantly traveling. Like when we would have time to take care of a kid. I mean, sometimes if it's a weekend where it is multiple gigs, we have the neighbor coming over to check on the dogs. So having the neighbor check on the kid, that probably wouldn't be a good thing. No.
Yeah.
A permanent sitter because a permanent nanny because we can't take care of the kid ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Relatable.
Yeah.
So it's a no. So yeah, it's a no. It's a no.
Derek and I get that question every once in a while, and it's one of those things that we have the same answer. We're just both so busy, and we already have kids. So if anybody ever followed my YouTube series, Just Ask Jade, my kids were on the show every night, and that's why I dressed up the way I did. And they wanted to come and say hi to everybody tonight. This is from Pedro. These are the only kids we're going to have.
Is that the Devereaux family?
These are the Devereaux.
The Devourers.
The Severes.
The Severes.
Yep. So yeah, these are the only kids we're having. You two sit there and be good.
I think a point to add to that is, especially for the four of us, so much of our lives revolve around nightlife and the nighttime industries. Mm-hmm. So I can't imagine, at least not right now with the current lifestyle that we lead, fitting children into that in a way that would be fair and good for us or our children, whether we decided to go with a surrogate or adoption.
Yeah, definitely.
Good, because I don't want to ruin my figure.
Yeah.
COVID already did that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
COVID 35, I guess.
But that segues perfectly into Daniel Jackson's question for Derek and Jeremy. When you first met your significant other, were they in drag or out of drag? Who wants to start?
So when I first met Scarlett, Matthew hadn't been doing drag, but transformed into Ariana Divine and transformed into Scarlet Overkill. So I was fortunate enough to see the progression, right? To see the I'm fishy, and that actually not being the case to what Scarlett is now. So, and you all witnessed the transformation as well. So
what do you mean? I'm a woman. Look at all this.
Yeah,
woman.
I see it.
You forgot your glasses, girl.
Oh.
Here, I'll bring mine over to you.
The contacts aren't working that great tonight.
It's obvious that she's looking into a monitor and not a mirror.
Yes. Hey.
Lift those lids, girl.
How about you, Derek? Who did you meet first?
So this is a long story, but the short version is I met Jade first and did not meet Mitch for months after the fact. And the first time that I saw him out of drag, I didn't know who he was. So that's always a fun little story.
Yeah.
Had no clue. It was one of those moments where I walked into a dressing room, and I remember where we were. We were at Hack Lebanon for a show that I was DJing, and I walked into the dressing room, and this guy was sitting on a table and was like, "Hey, Derek," and I was like, "Hey, you." And then they were like, I think it was Aurora that was like, "That's Jade," and I was like, "Oh shit." But yeah, I knew Jade for months and months before I knew Mitch.
Yep. That was a weird time.
And a funny story, but not one that we have time for.
Jamie Angel chimed in. They would like to know, what would you say would be the most important factors to get booked into a drag show?
Ooh. Jeremy, do you want to go first, or do you?
I'll go first. I would say, a lot of your talent can speak for itself, but I think there's also a humility factor that a lot of people are lacking when they want to get booked, like this one. So being humble, being able to be appreciative and show respect for the performers that you're with, or would be with, or want to be with. I think that goes a very long way. So that would be my answer. Panel of judges.
Thank you, contestant number 1.
Thank you.
I would say to kind of piggyback on that, especially with COVID notwithstanding, even before COVID, there's been a big shift in the past 9-ish years with drag in general, going from kind of like this sordid underground thing that not many people did and nobody dated drag queens, and like there was so much negativity around it, to now it's a, dare I say, mainstream positive thing that everyone knows about in some way. But there's been a shift also towards social media queens and kings and non-binary performers, where you can be underage and do drag for years, literally years. I mean, there's kids that are in their, 11, 12 and younger doing drag, but they're not performing. So I think there has to be a little bit of reflection once you get to the age where you can start performing at venues, where you need to realize that, yes, you may have a lot of performers and gobs and gobs of sickening looking photos, but once you enter this realm, the Thunderdome, if you want to say so, like you're starting over. Unless you're somebody like a Violet Chachki or someone who immediately got on Drag Race the second they were of age. I think she was 21 when she won.
Yeah.
But the second you walk into that club or that fire hall or that Hamburger Mary's or wherever you're performing, you're starting all over again. You've had a lot of good practice as far as being able to paint and maybe perform, but it's a completely different realm. And there's a lot of people that have been doing this much longer than you. And I hate to use the term hierarchy because that seems weird and kind of gatekeepery. But I do think you need to realize and have kind of that moment with yourself where you take a step back and say, okay, now I'm coming into a new chapter of this. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to be where I think I should be right away.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, we talk about that a lot on the show, especially for newer performers who are getting their feet wet and just starting to establish themselves. Come in, do benefit shows. Benefit shows are a great way to network. Sure, you're going to be donating a lot of time for them, but you will also be building those relationships with other performers, and you'll get the building blocks you need to become an even better performer and to work with people who want to see you succeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and
go ahead.
Also, when you start doing drag at venues, and even though I'm not a drag performer, I totally understand that. But I feel like I've been around the block long enough to kind of realize there's things that happen at every gig. Things go wrong or things don't go as you plan. Well, when you're doing everything in your bedroom, nothing can go wrong unless you like trip over your own feet. But there's going to be the show where you forget your body. There's going to be the show where you forget your makeup. There's going to be the show where you forget your music. So it's kind of boot camp for the first little bit while you're, quote unquote, paying your dues. So just allow yourself to embrace the lessons that you're going to learn very quickly and have fun with it. But also be aware of the people that were there before you, because they're a great resource if you treat them with respect.
Jeremy has a really good story about a queen coming into one of her first gigs and not bringing any makeup and asking who's going to paint her. Without saying names, do you want to tell us that story?
Yeah, no, and before I get into the story, I would like to piggyback off what both of you have said, right? So, not only with the paying your dues, but just putting yourself out there enough to want to get booked someplace. Like, you're going to get a lot of no's before you get a yes, right? And I can tell from experience with this one above me, there were a lot of no's before there were yeses. And then when yeses came in, boy, was it a flood, right? But Scarlett, and I'm sure the same thing with you, Jade, when you're first starting out, people don't know you. They haven't built a relationship with you. So there are a lot of variables working against you early on. But as you're working around the scene and really understanding the hierarchy, if you want to call it that, or what have you, you really become aware of who you need to emulate yourself by, and kind of what you need to kind of work against, because ultimately it is kind of you're a salmon working upstream. Well, in the situation that you're referring to, without saying names, there was that new queen who was just starting out, who
We lost your audio.
My sister was calling, so I had to cancel the call.
Oh,
But for this queen, not only was it her first time performing, but also, we're talking about showtime started 10 minutes ago, and queen was just walking in, not painted, not really prepared to go on stage, and then said, "Hey, who can paint me? Who can paint me?" And everybody, all of the other queens are getting ready. All of the backstage help that might have been helping the queens left, and it was just me and maybe one other person. And so I said, "Okay, I will." I helped my husband when he was starting out, and so I started painting the queen, helping out as quickly as I could, because it was like a few minutes and then you're on stage. And Scarlett happened to just walk on by looking all clownfish and everything, and the queen looked over at Scarlett and said, "Yeah, just don't paint me like that." I looked at the queen and was like, "That's my husband, first of all." So etch a sketch, you're good. Go ahead and go on stage.
Connect the dots.
good luck, girl.
So that's my story. But again, that leads back to the humility, not necessarily paying your dues, all of that stuff. You don't have to do all of that, but in those instances, come prepared, be ready to kind of pick up. You should be a sponge early on, in my opinion. You should be looking to get information, unless you're like what Derek said, you're one of those queens that you know how to paint, you know how to do body out the gate, and all you have to work on is the performing, then just be a sponge, honestly. Be that sponge.
That was Anastasia Diamond. When she got her start, she was an Instagram queen, and there was a drag show at her college. She was like, if I want to do this, I got to get my ass on stage. And she did. And, we've all been friends ever since. She was amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
And she fell right off that stage.
You're never going to let her live it down, are you?
I'm never going to let her forget it.
Never.
I would like to add one more thing onto newer performers wanting to get bookings. Something that's really vital in my eyes: go to the show that you want to be a part of and be an audience member. If I've never seen you before, except comments on Facebook, and you come to my venue looking for a booking, why should I put you in the show if you don't care about it?
Right.
Come. I'm not saying be there every single show, but if I've never seen you inside those doors, I feel kind of the same way about people that go to bar pageants having never set foot in the bar. Right. It's just weird to me. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, Scarlett?
I mean, not really. I agree with everything they said. It's all about, Jade, you and I didn't wake up one morning and we're at the point we are now. We had to work our asses off, blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of money to look this cheap. So, you can't just expect to walk into your first show and be handed everything you want like a queen. You have to work to get to the level that you are. Like Jeremy said, when I first started out, it was more no's than yeses, and the shows were few and far because no one knew who I was, and I was a new performer. But, I worked my ass off and, learned this, that, and the third, and, made a name for myself. And now I am a big name in the area, but you have to put in the work to get the bookings. They're not just going to come to you.
Exactly.
And to add to that, I remember the first time, Scarlett as Ariana was like, I don't know what to do. Nobody's answering me back. Nobody's replying to my messages. And then I remember, oddly enough, we were living in Myerstown at the time, and I messaged Whitley and said, hey, my husband's or my boyfriend at the time is into doing drag and wanting to perform. Is there anything that you can recommend? And Whitley plugged the Lebanon show, of course, and we had went. Ariana got into look, and we showed up at the hotel, and of course watched the whole thing and had a great time. You were there, Felicia was there, and a couple of other people. But that was really the first exposure outside of other instances that both of us had. Well, except for Scarlett, but maybe I should speak for myself in that instance. But ultimately that was the start, right? Then met you, and you recommended the Delaware newcomer pageant, competed at that, and you and Aida both recommended the amateur drag race, and then now look at the animal you both created. So
Yikes!
Damn.
Well, and here's another fun thing. It's something that I don't see as much push towards now in the drag community as I did when Jade and I first met each other. If you're not finding opportunities, create your own opportunities. If you are hungry enough that you want this and you want to be a part of this world, there's nothing to stop you from creating your own show. It's a lot of work. But there's nothing stopping you except yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. True.
And that's why Jade DeVere is not a show director. It's enough work doing this show every week, to be very honest. A weekly gig is a lot of work. And it's funny, I chat with Teddy all the time about the fact that we put on a full face, and we do I've got my girls, and you can barely see them because they're down here, but gravity is a bitch.
Right.
And I'm wearing a good bra too. But it's a lot of work to get into this. Tonight I was going through it. I wasn't feeling my face, and then the lashes went on. And I was like, oh, there she is. Every drag performer has that one moment where they're just like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate.
Oh yeah.
Fancy meeting you here. Oh my God, we are getting so many good questions tonight. I'm loving this. I feel bad because my chat's a little bit delayed, but going back to the conversations about having children, Ephraim says fur babies are easier to manage. Kenneth, as a gay dad, I can respect that. Him and his husband have a little one, and they just relocated. They are on their way to Orlando because his husband got his job moved him down there, and he's like, well, time to start over. Yep. Got their drag kids too.
I was gonna say, wait, yeah, we have children. Technically, we have children, so
that's true.
Drag children, but they're still children.
I have 4 children, and I can't get a refund.
Yeah.
But this is a fascinating question. I enjoy this one from Alicia. Have the husbands ever gotten jealous before, during, or after dating and marriage? Jealous of our drag?
Yeah, wait, yeah.
Are they asking if it's jealousy of your fame, or
we don't have any,
or or jealousy of someone hitting on you while you're in drag?
Yeah, we need clarification, please.
Yeah, we'll come back to that question because that's a good one. Here's a good one from Phyllis. Derek, who do you like best, Jade or Mitch?
Well, I think that's tough because when we first started dating, there was a much larger departure between the two. And the longer we've been together and the more you become comfortable with what you do and realizing your own self-worth as it pertains to your drag character, they're starting to merge a little bit. I would say that I love Mitch and I like Jade. Mitch is my husband. Jade's my girlfriend. She's like my girlfriend. We talk shit. Not like girlfriend, but like hanging with your girlfriends kind of.
Oh yeah, we talk shit all the time.
Right.
We're like the girls from Big Mouth.
Yes.
But you and I had that kind of relationship before I even knew you as a boy. Like you and I were always kind of shady and fun and playful towards each other, and then that really hasn't changed. We just have more ammunition now.
Ooh, here's a good one to tie back into show directing. Do you get inexperienced queens come to you looking to be in a show and expect to be paid like they were on Drag Race?
Yes.
Yep.
Consistently.
Yep.
I know performers that are some of the best in this area who don't make that kind of money. So what makes you think you rate?
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
We were reaching out to girls for Divas Down Under, and Derek was always telling me, he's like, this girl has a higher asking price than one of the girls on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Good luck.
Why?
Good luck. You're You
I
ain't got enough money.
understand. I understand throwing a little extra coin if you have to travel very far, and if I want you bad enough, I will.
No.
But unless you're someone who already comes with a pretty big fan base, I don't understand the idea of having an asking price. Unless you're a celebrity or something. I try to pay my performers really well, and I think I do pretty well at that, but I don't take kindly to demands.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with having a booking fee, so to speak, but you have to base that off of your name, your success, and I don't want to say your fame, but like, you know what I mean? Like what I would ask today to be booked in a show, I would have not asked that 4 years ago. You know what I mean? I've grown much more, and I have a following. I am a name in Central PA. So of course, what I would ask for now for a booking is acceptable to like who I am as an entertainer now.
$25 is $25.
You can't.
Right?
I mean, you can't. you can't be. 4 months into the game and come into a show with a drag queen who's been 10 years and asking more money than what they're getting paid.
Yeah,
you can't do that. Like,
and there are queens who have been in this game for a long time who are now kind of getting, the short end of the stick because they don't have the asking fees of girls who have done a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Not names. But, it's an awkward shift in the drag world right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I have a sliding scale of what I want to make at a gig. It's mostly based on how far do I have to travel?
Yeah.
Is it a smoking venue? Because I will charge more if it's a smoking venue because I don't smoke and I don't want my stuff to smell like it either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Granted, most places shouldn't be smoking, but some still do somehow, and I don't understand that. Anyway, not naming names. There are more questions. Oh my God, we got a lot of questions tonight. This is a pretty easy one. How do queens bring their music to a gig?
8-track.
Record.
Yeah. What is it? The sousaphone?
Yeah, the gramophone.
Yeah, there you go. I've seen it. CD is a common one. Flash drive is a common one. With the pageant scene, there is a shift from CD to flash drive to emailing and Dropboxing, Google Drive, all of that stuff. But I've been around it all from the CD. Well, from CD till present, not cassette tape till present. So
I'm pretty strict with shows about emailing because one of my biggest pet peeves when I first started getting into the drag world was shows where I'd be sitting in the audience and I'd hear the same Madonna song 3 times or the same Britney song 2 times back to back. Yeah. I'm a stickler for send me your music a couple days before the gig so I can look through and double check that no one's doing the same numbers and that I can space you out if you're doing numbers by the same performers. Because I'm not above asking someone to change the order of their songs if it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Which is great because being a show director, you're, managing the flow of the show. You can't have, say, like 3 comedy performers and then a ballad because the ballad will tank then. So you have to space things out.
Yeah.
Or you throw Jade DeVere into a show and you never know what the hell she's going to do. And she's going to do a ballad, but it's going to be funny somehow.
And on roller skates, right?
And on roller skates. Oh, that's a sensitive topic for me right now because I just emailed Amazon today and asked for a refund on the roller skates I was supposed to get last month.
Ooh.
Anyway, we have another question.
Yes.
It is from Elaine. Hi, Elaine. How did you know you wanted to do drag? Jeremy?
I knew I wanted to do drag the night I was sitting on the living room floor trying to connect my Xbox, drunk off my ass, and in a wig and being called Olga behind me, by
Yes!
Yeah, so that was the moment. That was the epiphany that I had, and I realized shortly thereafter, no, that's not happening.
That was so funny.
Olga, a lot of overkill.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
How about you, Scarlett?
I mean, I realized I wanted to do drag after I went to college for a semester and hated it. But long story short, like I did a lot of arts. I was part of all the arts, photography, all that stuff in high school. And when I graduated, went to college, I wanted to continue doing artistic things. But I was like, what, like, where can I go with this? What can I do with it? And then I like left college, and then Drag Race had started, and I was like, okay, this seems fun. And then, so for Derek to be shady towards me, then I did drag one night on Halloween. And I was like, okay, well, let's see where this goes. And then I did it like once after, just like in my bedroom by myself. And then it was funny story to tie back into earlier in the episode. I remember talking to like guys online and on dating sites, and it was like the minute you brought up drag, they were like, well, I'm not gay, so why would I date a woman? I've literally had so many say that before. And I'm just like, okay, cool. So I was like, I'm not going to do drag because then I can't have a dating life at the same time. And then when I met Jeremy on Plenty of Fish, his profile picture was with Derek Barry from RuPaul's Drag Race. And I was like, okay, so he's been to a drag show. Maybe he likes queens. And so we kind of hit it off. And after I was like, so I know you've been to drag shows before and I want to do drag, or is that something you're cool with? Will you support that? And he was like, oh yeah, 100%. And now here I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That kind of goes hand in hand with something awkward that happened on the show last week. We did get a comment that I did delete, but I did want to talk about that a little bit just because we do have our husbands on. The comment that we got was a bit inappropriate. It was something, it was Dr. Strange who said it, so I don't know why the Sorcerer Supreme has time to ask this question, but it was, hey girls, I'm a sissy looking for a T-girl to have a good time.
Ooh.
So, let's talk about the difference between a trans person and a drag performer a little bit. Who wants to start?
Well,
I'm going to throw it out there and just not deal with it.
Somebody fish.
the thing that I always say, because I will never forget this from, and I'm friends with her on Facebook, Instagram, all that. She's super sweet. But on season 5 of Drag Race, when Monica Beverly Hills competed, she said, trans is who I am and drag is what I do. And that's it. And that's it. That's what it is. She's a trans person and she's a drag entertainer. Two different things. Trans is her life. Drag is her job. That's that.
Yep. And drag queens are performers.
Yep.
And drag kings. And I apologize. I keep doing that. I'm gonna do better next time. But drag performers are performers, and that's not always the lifestyle. And if I'm on stage, I'm not looking to hook up with you.
Yeah.
I'm looking to take your money and run. That's exactly what
Give me your fucking money.
Give me your damn money. And don't play with it. Don't pull it away. Because I will fight you. Derek, you look like you want to add something.
I mean, to maybe bring down the mood a little bit, maybe get a little vulnerable. This topic is a little close to home for me, especially when we first met. I never came out and said it, and I never would use it against someone, but I was kind of one of those people who had just recently come out of the closet before we met, maybe within the same year, had a lot of internalized homophobia. And the idea of drag was, I don't want to say disgusting to me because that's not it, but it was just something that I was like, I'll never be that kind of gay. Like, that's not the kind of gay I'm going to be. And I wish I could tell myself back then, but I do remember like how quickly that changed for me, but I just didn't know. I didn't know what I was talking about, and I didn't know why I felt the way I did about things. And although Jade was not the first queen that I had dated, I had a brief relationship with another queen.
Your mom.
Yeah, I was saying.
Spilling my tea everywhere, but no, I do really owe it to Jade and the Central PA drag community for really opening my eyes and making me realize what my misconceptions about drag as a whole. And I feel like that was much more prevalent back then. At least it was more out in the open, where it was, we would be at the Bear Bar and a queen would come in off the street out of drag, but they knew who the performer was out of drag, and it would be like, oh, look over there, it's a queen. We don't. Now I would never, like, it's disgusting to me. It's a part of my past that I'm not proud of, but I'm glad that I was able to move past it because I have a great life thanks to drag, and I have an amazing partner who is a drag performer. So, give things a chance. I guess is where I'm putting that.
Well, and that ties into, Alicia did clarify her statement earlier about jealousy. Yes, flirting, touching, getting overly attached and excited fans, stuff like that. How do you two deal with that when a fan gets a little too forward with us?
Well, I could say, and full disclosure, right? When we first started dating and getting serious and all of that stuff, it bothered me a lot, right? And I internalized it, or I said something at the most inopportune time. But I had to do a lot of growing, right? I was already old enough, mature enough to understand the difference between what that person's looking for at the time and what is what's going to be expected of the partner in the relationship. So I was able, once I got to a nirvana of maturity, it then transformed into, like, if you want to go home with that person, I don't care what you do. Like, it has no impact on my life, our life, whatever. If you want to flirt with them to get extra coin, boo-boo, get that coin. I want you to have the money because I'm tired of paying for your drag, right? So it's like there's a variance. You can go from one to the other here, and frankly, it doesn't bother me any longer, right? But if you went back to 2014, 2015 me, I would have been like, it would have been a fight basically on the dance floor. So, but that's honesty.
Now Jeremy's like, yes, make that old man buy your next wig.
I'm like counting the money backstage while she's performing. Going, oh, you need more. Go out there and twerk some fools. Like, get that money.
We'll get up there and you show me some teeth.
I've never really felt jealousy ever, really. Because I know, first of all, that underneath Jade, Mitch is a very strong person and can handle himself, and
right.
She can handle herself. I know that it's just illusion. I've been scared a time or two, like very scared, situation based, but I've been very confident in our relationship. I know that what happens during a show means nothing, and I don't care what you do. At the end of the day, he's coming home with me. So
we have a funny story, actually. The first time I met his mother, he was in the audience of a show. I was performing. I was emceeing at the time, and our dear friend Mandy Lee Welsh was performing. And she went over to Derek and starts motorboating him. And Derek's mother looks at me like, aren't you mad at this? As I'm cackling like a banshee in the corner. I'm like, this is some funny shit. And she was like, that was so not appropriate. I was like, no. That's drag. That's comedy. That was not anything serious. Like, Derek has performed from time to time, and he kissed someone on stage. Gross. Was I upset about it? No, because it's acting.
Right.
It's thanks. I had forgotten about that.
I'm sorry. I brought that back up. I know it's a very sensitive subject. But still, he kissed someone on stage. I don't care. Right. I've done it before too. Like, not anytime recently because, COVID. But still, Like,
I think when you're involved with someone who's a part of the public, and especially who is an actor, whether, you know, the various forms that acting can take, there has to be a bit of a conversation that happens pretty early in that relationship about what things you may or may not see. I mean, think about Hollywood actors and actresses who do sex scenes with people. Like, they're still in real relationships. It's not real.
I got to work with Alicia Rodas, who is actually an intimacy expert. And she helps out in movies just to make sure the actors feel safe in what they're doing. If there's an intimate scene, she's there just to make sure, is everybody okay? Is this all right? Nobody's crossing the line? Okay. And I'm like, that's brilliant. Intimacy coordinator. That's what it is. But yeah, we don't have that in drag. So we trust each other. And I'm not going to, you know, there are performers who do get a bit graphic with people. I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
You know, I think those days are done, but
Scarlett does like to stick dildos down people's throats, so.
My own. Okay.
Oh, is this a drag thing? Technically, it's time for us to be done, but we do have a couple more questions I do want to get to, because I find, especially this next one, I find very important. Once again, from Jamie Angel, is there an age that would be too old to start doing drag performances? No.
Some of my favorite drag performers are within their first couple years of doing it and are 50 plus, and they're some of my absolute favorite performers. So absolutely not.
Yeah.
If you have the passion, age is just a number.
Yeah, exactly.
The Mona Moorheads out there, the Megan Thomas is out there. You know,
yes.
in their 50s, you know, starting drag, you know.
Yeah. Ooh, I need to get both of them on. I chatted with Mona, but she's been very busy. Ooh, both of them on at the same time. Ooh, there will be a disturbance in the force. Where's the next question? This is another good one that I like, from Erica M. Stevens. Do you ever have drag kings in your shows?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I do feel like the pool of drag kings in central Pennsylvania is obviously much smaller than that of the queens. But we have some amazing kings in this area and outside of this area, and I'm happy to book. I will book anyone regardless of drag style or the way that they present their gender. None of that matters to me. I want good performers that are going to fill my seats and that aren't going to cause trouble in the dressing room. End of story.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, he books me, so you'll have a chance.
Because every show needs an intermission.
Well, Jeremy, let's talk about gay America for a minute when it comes to drag kings. I know it's awkward.
So, God, this is a touchy subject, I know, and I will apologize up front, because the Miss Gay America system doesn't have a category for those competing in male illusion. So it's female illusion only, right? So, you know, in that, it has been discussed at length, and even with Mr. Gay America, it has been discussed at length within the national board as to, you know, what that means, what that entails. But they're going off of a history of the system and wanting to maintain that history, right? But there still are talks with, I'm sure there are, maybe not public to a lot of us. I'm sure there are, with conversations with all types of performers, and what possibilities there are for competing in the America system. I know some, you know, with the America system, we're very stringent, but there are systems out there for male illusionists, either bio or otherwise. So there's a place for you. So if you want to compete in pageantry, you know, look, there are plenty of examples out there to choose from, to emulate, to either, you know, performers to emulate or pageants to compete in. So,
and that goes hand in hand with creating your own opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pageantry is love or hate it, which there are a lot of people that dislike it. That one up there, to be precise, that one. But when it comes to pageantry, like fishy pageantry and all of that, it can leave people with a bad taste in their mouth. But also, it's a way for you to be seen, a way for people to get to know who you are, and what you can bring to the table. Either, being a spokesperson for a pageant and by winning, or what talent you have outside of your speaking skills. So great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. We do have one last question, once again from Alicia. You are just a plethora of questions, and I love this.
Yes.
How did you all meet and begin dating?
Oh.
Jeremy, go first because ours is long.
So we met on Plenty of Fish. We were talking for about a month. We were talking for about a month, and then we finally met one another, and that it just started full steam ahead from there. And we ended up moving in together shortly thereafter, and then getting married about a year later from meeting. So our romance was a whirlwind. We had our ups and downs along the way, but by the time we got married, we ended up moving to Jacksonville, Florida, and our life was ruined for approximately a year and a half, 2 years, depending on who you ask, and things have been great ever since. So, that's us. Derek,
go ahead, Derek.
Okay, so to tell our story as quickly as possible, like I said, up until the point when we met, I was not really involved with the drag scene. I really wasn't out amongst the LGBTQIA plus community at all. I grew up in a very conservative area. It just wasn't part of the world that I knew at that time. I was still very, very green behind the ears, I think is the saying. But I had started DJing as a way to make money on the side, and got involved with the Hack Allies. Hack is Harrisburg Area Community College. They have an amazing Allies program. I'm so glad they brought it back. And they used to do a drag gala every year and a drag show. And that's how I met many of the performers that I'm still close friends with. But up until that point, I really didn't go to bars that did drag shows or anything. I had a friend from Hack, may he rest in peace, who asked me to come out to Stallions one night to support him, his first time performing there. And it was a send-off show for another performer who is not currently performing, but it was a send-off for them. And I was there to meet my friend, and I didn't know the rules or etiquette of drag. So I went into the basement of this club, it was Stallions in Harrisburg, and saw Jade and Aurora F. Sterling standing at the bar, and asked if they knew my friend Aaron. And most queens and kings and drag performers on the whole will not call people by their actual names. It just doesn't happen. In or out of drag, Jade is Jade, Scarlet's Scarlet. It's just how it works. So they didn't know who I was talking about. And then I said, Tyra B. Fierce. I believe she was Tyra B. Fierce at the time. And shady. And then
I can do that.
They went up
story there.
There's lots of stories, but they went to get Aaron. And there was a conversation that happened in the staircase. And then after that night, I ended up dating one of the queens, Miss Aurora, for a few months. That ended. And then Jade and I started talking, and we would message back and forth occasionally, and we decided to go on a date. We went to a Chinese fusion restaurant or something. I'm not even sure if it's still there. Horrible date. Horrible, awful. We had dinner and then we parted ways. Like that bad. Like nothing angry, or it was just, there was nothing.
It was a thank you for your time.
Pretty much. It was like a bad job interview, really. Would you like to be my boyfriend? No? Okay, well, thank you for your time. Like, it was very much that. And then Mitch went away to do the New Jersey Renaissance Fair and was gone for a few months, for a few weeks, maybe a month and a half. And then upon returning, we just started chatting again. And after I think it was a couple of weeks, we decided to maybe give another date a shot, and it was much better. We ended up hanging out even after that. We went to Applebee's, and then we went to Toys R Us because we're children. And then we've been together ever since. And then probably 7 or 8 months later, I proposed at a faux drag. I say faux drag show because I needed to find a way to propose and I needed a reason to get Jade or Mitch somewhere that I knew they would be there. So with the help of some friends, we created what was called the Bucket List Show, and it was a drag show at Club Liquid 891 in Harrisburg. And we had a show. It was a real show. We invited people. There were performers and everything, but it was a combination birthday party for Mitch. And then at the end of the show, I proposed, and we were married in October of 2014, and we've been together ever since. And that was the poster for the show.
Shady bastard put together a show, and I was oblivious the whole time. Like, Ruby asked me to do her makeup, and I was like, girl, why the hell am I doing your makeup? That was to keep me upstairs so I couldn't see them putting up balloons and stuff, because it was also my birthday. I was like, are you shitting me? It was fun.
So we got married a month probably a month before you did, or close to a month before you did.
Yep.
Yeah, we were 10, 12, 14.
Oh, 9, 13, 14.
Nice.
Literally a month. Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh my God. And your wedding anniversary is 3 days from my birthday. That's so cute.
And my birthday is October the 10th. So
That's right. Yeah.
speaking of Aurora, she just popped into the comments. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, how you doing?
Hey, mother. How are you?
Hey, mama.
I still need to get you on the show at some point, girl.
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten about you. Don't you worry.
I miss
So-
drag.
We are reaching the end of the evening, but I did want to, give a shout out to my lovely husband, of course, because he has been doing so much work helping us behind the scenes with this fabulous show. He designed the Inside the Drag Closet logo. He does all of our fabulous posters as well. Look at them. Look at that.
Yes.
But
I look good.
but he is
Very
also
airbrushed.
quite the artiste as well. And these two have purchased so many of the paintings that he
They're
has
really
done.
good customers.
Yeah.
Yes, Adele.
Favorite.
Yep.
Where the eyes. Oh, we didn't get
Tracy
that.
Martell.
No, they didn't buy that
We
one.
didn't end up by that one.
Nope. And we have a new one that Derek just finished.
Yeah, I love
it's
that. I like,
Anastasia Diamond.
he showed me
Anastasia
that one
Diamond. We love her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at that beauty.
But when he is not working on all of this shenanigans, he's busy doing this.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my current project.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's 4,800 Christmas lights.
Girl. No,
Wow.
that's a lot.
Could you do
Right.
a menorah in those lights?
That's the next episode of my channel.
I mean, it's just over a week away. Starts on the 17th, right?
No,
The 10th.
tomorrow.
The 10th. Oh my gosh, starting tomorrow.
Yes.
I get my Thursdays are very confusing because I don't work Thursdays and I don't know where I am anymore. Well, kids, we are reaching the end of the evening. So, Jeremy, do you have any last words for the kids watching this evening?
Well, first, I want to thank the two of you for having me on, and I really appreciate it. I had a great time. And for anybody watching, just be safe. Wash your hands. I'm taking some Scarlet lines, and then of course, wear your mask. We all know what wearing a mask means to some people, and some people may or may not want to. But at the end of the day, you're helping protect not only yourself but others. And as somebody who is on that vulnerable list, I can't say it more enough. You should be wearing it, if not to protect you, to protect me. So, and be safe always.
Yes.
Thank you. Derek, anything to add?
Yeah, Jade, Scarlett, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, WLFE DB Radio, for having me. Love the show. I watch it all the time. I'm your biggest fan. But no, I would really like to thank you for having us. Thank you, Jeremy. This was a lot of fun. Getting to know you guys in the the backstage areas, and then getting to continue that friendship outside of drag is a real honor and privilege. To everyone watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for your continued support of our lovely husbands and drag wives. This year has been so crazy in so many ways. It means so many stressful things to so many people. All I can really say is please be kind to one another. Mm-hmm. Everyone's going through a struggle. Everyone's dealing with certain things that you may know or may not know about. Everyone's living their lives, whatever that means for them. So just be kind. Life is hard enough without added, being mean to people, and it just, there's no time for it. So take care of yourselves, practice, good mental health for yourself, take breaks, enjoy things that you love, check in on the ones that you love, even if you can't see them, wash your hands, and let's pray for a better 2021.
Amen.
Yay.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Scarlett?
Well, what I always say, wash your hands, wash your ass, wear your masks, and distance, because, like Derek said, hopefully 2021 will be better, but in order for it to be better, we need to all work together. And that also means being kind to one another, because, again, you don't know what someone's going through. We all face hardships with this virus and 2020, because 2020 has been a fucking shit. So, just be kind to one another. And I want to thank Derek, first of all, for being on the show, and thank you for doing Divas and Risque and booking me in both those shows. They're both fabulous, amazing shows, and I always have a wonderful time. I love the shows and everyone I work with. Then thank you to Jeremy, obviously, for being my husband, supportive, helpful, thoughtful, loving, being on the show, helping not only me in and out of in drag, but also out of drag, and being there for me. And yeah, that's about it.
Amazing.
And one more thing, I also thank you to Jeremy for helping me this past week getting my other show set up on WLFDB Radio across the pond. Watch it on Sunday, 4 p.m. right here on Facebook. And thank you, WLFDB Radio and Ted, both this show and my other show across the pond.
You're getting podcast famous now.
I know. I got to do something with 2020. There ain't nothing else to do.
That's so true.
Wow.
I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. The three of you, you're three of my favorite people. And Derek's here too. Seriously, we joke about it from time to time, but I am only one part of Jade DeVere, and he is definitely the other part of Jade DeVere. Because he handles my Instagram, because Nana's getting old and doesn't understand it. But I adore the two of you. I'm so bummed that we couldn't hang out this year. But we'll fix that soon.
Yes.
Just everybody out there, thank you all for tuning in. You guys have been amazing. Again, don't forget to go over to our YouTube channel, Jade DeVere. Make sure you follow and subscribe there. If you're watching, make sure you follow on Facebook, Inside the Drag Closet. We are here every Wednesday, live with new content every week. I wrote down a list and now I confused myself. Oh, geez. Scarlett, I think your husband actually gave you the name for your segment earlier.
Oh, did he?
I think it should be Scarlett's Nirvana of Maturity.
Nirvana of Maturity.
Scarlett's Nirvana of Maturity.
Ooh.
As she talks about playing
synonym.
Hey, I didn't try to press that button. But yeah. Next week, we have another fantastic show. I will be joined with my lovely co-host, Miss Anastasia Diamond. And we have a mother-daughter duo joining us. We are going to have the fabulous Miss Paula Frost is finally joining us.
Yes.
We love Miss Paula and her daughter, Portia Willis, who was asking us some amazing questions this evening as well. And on Tuesday, you can actually catch me in another location. Actually, Scarlett and I both will be involved with Slayer's Toy Chest.
Yeah.
It'll be a fundraiser for the Children's Home of Reading. We will be doing story time for everyone. It's going to be a lot of fun for the whole family. We promise we won't drop the F-bomb more than 47 times. Seriously, we won't be swearing. I hope. Allegedly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Slayer is amazing. She's put together a fantastic show. That is the end of our show for this evening. And I wanted to do a tribute to how I used to end Just Ask Jade every week. So everyone, go ahead and join us and say, good night, kids.
Good night. Bye.